Right, okay. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Division 1, Round 4 here in China, and we are very much looking forward to this. We're here for an 18-minute qualifying session, along with a 50% race. I am Dame Zero, and you are joined by my co-commentator, Mr. ERN Storm. How are you doing today?
Yes, all fine. A bit sleepy today, but it happens when an old man drinks.
You're not that old yet, David. We've had a fantastic race at the moment in normal Formula 1. What a race that was in Monza. But now you're here with us, here in China, and I'm looking forward to it. Who do you think is going to take pole today, David, as the ERN Boots is the first person out in China?
The form Bruno Will is in, I can't say anyone else. It has to be him.
Yeah, Bruno Will is in absolute mega form to this season so far. I think he's got pole in every race so far in the first 3 rounds and has won the first 3 rounds. Am I right in saying that, David? Am I correct with that?
I think you are.
I'm just trying to debate. Let me just get the standings up for everybody so I can get them right. So Bruno Will is on 76 points, which must mean that he did win every single one and got one fastest lap. So he's on absolute fire at this current moment in time, and it'll be hard to see if anybody takes that pole position away from him. But as we know, David, anything can happen in Formula 1 and in racing, so it'll be interesting to see what happens here.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting race. Coming from a narrow street track like Vietnam to China is, it's really great. I don't like street tracks. This is a proper racetrack.
You really struggled in Vietnam, didn't you?
Yeah.
You were struggling most of the race, and then I think it was the last corner, and then you crashed out on the very last corner on the very last lap. Bit of a shame for yourself, but it is a very tricky track, especially with no grip, as Boots now starts his first flying lap of the session in the Alfa Romeo Sauber. The Alfa Romeo now just coming through the first difficult bit of the long right-hand and left-hand corners, which you've got to really take slowly for. Going into the hairpin now at the end of Sector 1 / start of Sector 2. Going through there very quite nicely, going into the fast left-hand straight corner. And he takes that nicely, a bit on the grass, a little bit slightly. Oh, and he loses it! There he goes, he loses it! Straight into the gravel trap, just misses it, in fact. Takes a little bit on the tarmac. And that's not really a good start for him. Really not a good start, as Kenneth goes past him. And Kenneth is also on a flyer at this moment in time in the Mercedes-AMG Petronas in the blacked out Merc. And let's see how he is able to do. Last year's Division 1 champion, ladies and gentlemen. And it's going to be interesting to see where he puts it on the grid this week.
Bruno Will is starting his lap now.
Bruno Will just about to start his hot lap. Kenneth is on his out lap at this moment in time, so we got onto the podium on a hot lap. We got Bruno Will now on a hot lap. Boots, who literally booted it and misjudged his corner and span out. Connor R is on a hot lap. BC Legends on a hot lap. Toby Griffiths on a hot lap. FXBR is also on a hot lap. ERN Speedy on a hot lap. Noam on a hot lap. Gibby on a hot lap. And Presto. So a lot of hot laps happening here for their first run, so it's going to be very interesting to see where people are able to come out, as the first lap of the session is set by ERN Speedy, a 1:29.8. Not a bad lap from him, David, to get that banker in.
That's a good lap. The banker lap is always the hardest.
Indeed it is, with BCT Legends behind him with a 1:32 and Gibby behind him with a 1:35 as Connor goes top with a 1:29.7. That's the fastest lap so far of this session. We also have a Williams about to cross the line. He goes top, and it's Noam with a 29.7. A Renault Presto goes top with a 29.6. Nearly very close to breaking that top time, and he does, but we've got other people now on a lap onto the podium, has invalidated his. Kenneth is going round the fast right-hander in sector 3. Bruno Will about to cross the line now. Where is he going to put it? He puts it top with a 29-1. Nobody this season is stopping the Brazilian of Bruno Will. No matter what you throw at him, he will do better.
Look at the new guy. P2 with 29-2.
FXBR with a 29-2, currently in P2. Who else is going to cross the line? It was Kenneth in P3 with a 29-6. Currently standing in P3. We also have Maddis Gamerboss, who is in Sector 1, who's on a lap. Marshall has invalidated his lap. And that will do it for the first rounds here. The first laps here in China. Decent first laps, David. A lot of good bank laps, especially from people like Bruno Will and FXBR and Kenneth. They've done very good bank laps, and it's quite close there between, let's say, P3 and P7.
Yeah, Bruno Will is that time he's in a division on his own, but it's really close times.
Yeah, it really is. The only person out there at the minute is Maddis Gamerboss on a flying lap. Relic is apparently on a flying lap in the Mercedes, as I can see. Maddis Gamerboss will cross the line first in the Red Bull. But what a first lap that is by Bruno with a 1:29.1. He's already a 10th quicker than the person in second and 5/10 quicker than the person in third, as Maddis Gamerboss comes across the line now with DRS enabled, and he puts himself P11 with a 1:31.7. Next up across the line will be Relic Nook, who is getting slipstream off his teammate of Kenneth in the Mercedes. That's really good teamwork there. Reminds me of Mexico last season, David, on F1 2019, when me and you are Apex in the Williams. That really worked out well for them. Let's see where Relic is going to put it across the line, and he puts it P9 with a 1:30.3.
I don't know in the stream, Mark, but in my ears your volume is a bit low with your voice.
A bit low? Let me have a quick look.
Now it's better.
I didn't even change anything then, David. It might just be me speaking.
Yeah, the mic is closer, maybe.
It might just be me speaking. I'm not 100% sure, but I can try and get that fixed for you. Not a problem. Bear with me.
Toby Griffith starts his hot lap.
Stream is good from Octane. Total Recoil says it's all fine. So, David, it must just be you. It might just...
Maybe. I'm just used to hear you higher.
Yeah, true. I'm not screaming yet, David. It's only qualifying. We saved that for in the race. We saved that for when the race starts and chaos ensues. As Boots is the next person out on his second run, along with Connor R, who's out on his second run with Presto, and Bruno Will, all out on their second runs, David. David, are you still going to predict Bruno Will to take the top spot here on the grid in China?
Yes, absolutely.
I'll tell you what though, David, that FXBR, it's his first race here in ERN, in European race tonight, and I'll tell you what, he's making a big impact already.
Yeah, you can say.
Indeed, as onto the podium is on his flying lap, the only man out on the grid at this current moment in time on a flying lap, as I think one of the Williams just crossed the line, and I think it was Toby Griffiths with a 1:30.3. As onto the podium comes round the hairpin at the end of sector 3. Let's see what time he's going to put in the Renault. Coming around the final corner now. Can he get this nice and tidy? He does. DRS enabled. Going across the line. And where's he going to put it? He puts it P8.9, sorry, with a 1:30.2. That's not a bad bank lap from him. And it'd be good to see if he can improve later on in the session. as we go back to Boots now, who is just at the end of Sector 1 at the start of Sector 2, going through the hairpin into the fast left, and it's going to be interesting to see where Boots puts it on the grid. Where do you think he's going to put it, David?
Oh, I don't know. It's so tight.
Division 1 and Division 2, David, they're both very, very tight
they are.
grids. They really are. Anything can separate them. And especially with Bruno Will out in front, we need that challenger. And I wonder if FXBR will maybe be able to challenge Bruno Will for that pole. He's not that far behind, David. There isn't a big gap. It's only a tenth of a second. An easy mistake could cost one of them pole. And it'll be interesting to see what they're able to do. As ERN Speedy retires from the session, he's in Sector 1.
Crashed.
And that's very, very unfortunate for him. He's crashed on the exit of the hairpin between the start of Sector 2 and the end of Sector 1. And that's him out of qualifying. He's currently in P7. Highly likely will go outside the top 10 at the end of the session. And that's a big, unfortunate incident for Mr. ERN Speedy. As Boots puts his lap of a 1:30.4. That's good enough for P12 at this current moment in time. We have a Haas about to cross the line. Is that Connor? Oh, no, it isn't. It's his teammate, Instinct Will. And Bruno Will goes quicker. Actually, it was his teammate, Bruno Will, goes quicker with a 1:28.8. Now, 4 tenths quicker than the AlphaTauri. The AlphaTauri is about to cross the line, and the AlphaTauri is about just under 2 tenths slower than Bruno Will. The McLaren about to cross the line of BCC Legends. He goes P4 with a 1:29.4, and AlphaTauri is about to cross the line, and that's Instinct Will. He's about to cross the line. Now, where's he going to put it in P14? He's going to stay P14. Doesn't improve on his time. Both Mercedes of Relic Nook, who's on an outlap, and Kenneth on a quick lap, probably both giving each other slipstream. But like, Kenneth is about to cross the line. He goes P3 with a 1:29.2. That's a good lap from him. Not too bad to put him on the second row of the grid. Who else is on a hot lap? Relic Nook is on a hot lap. As we know, we'll probably get the slipstream off Kenneth. Boots is on a hot lap and he's backed out of it. Let his teammate go past, who is ERN Marshall, who's about to come around the final corner himself. Let's see what he's able to put it from at the back of the grid at this current moment in time. Quick lap coming through across the line. And he goes 9th with a 1:30 dead. Still behind ERN Speedy, who was unfortunately retired for crashing out the session. But we'll be able to see what everybody else does. We're nearly at the final run to the session, David. Bruno Will still your man?
Yep. But it's getting close.
It really is. It really is. I've gave you multiple chances, David, to change your option, and you've kept with him. And to be honest with you, Bruno is still my option for pole, but I don't think he's going to win it, David. I have a gut feeling, especially with what's happened today in Monza with the Formula 1. I have a very big gut feeling that Bruno will not win this. So it nearly loses it, coming out with a hairpin there, going into the final corner. Let's see what time he's going to say. He's currently in P12 with a 1:30.3, crosses the line, and he is slower by 0.02 of a second. Very, very tight margins there, David, as everybody is going to start preparing for their final runs. The only man out on track at this current moment in time is Maddest Gamer Boss, and also onto the podium, who's on their final outlaps of this session. Lad, you need to go.
Close the group.
Yeah, you've got it unjoinable. There we go. There we go. We do apologise for that, ladies and gentlemen.
I thought it was your group.
For that. Yeah, I joined you, didn't I? I joined you. As Maddest Gamer Boss is on his final run in the Red Bull. He's currently P last in the session.
Well, the Williams, both cars are out on outlaps.
There's
Probably
a yellow
going
flag
to see
set
some...
to 1. I think that may be if somebody letting them by. I
yeah.
think it was an AlphaTauri, in fact. I'm not 100%. But Maddest Gamer Boss, and I think it is onto the podium, have now started their final hot lap. So 1 minute 50 seconds left in the session. All or nothing now for qualifying, and it's going to be interesting to see how they do. Onto the podium, down the back straight. Now the slipstream can really help here, David. If you've got a teammate who's willing to give the slipstream, it can really save you about 0.3 of a second around that.
Yeah, the slipstream is powerful.
Especially with DRS not being the quickest, but if you've got it in a hot lap and behind someone else, it's going to really help us. Maddest Gamer Boss goes P15 on his last attempt with a 1:30.5.
Is it possible for Bruno Will to even get a fast lap time?
David, it's Bruno Will. Now, I think that's all I need to say. It's Bruno Will, and he is quick as anything. But anything can happen here in motorsport. As onto the podium he approaches his teammate of Presto Evans, who gives him a bit of slipstream there, David, as Presto is on his outlap, warming up his tyres. Onto the podium is now coming round the hairpin in Sector 3. And let's see where he puts it from P11. Is he able to squeeze it into the top 10 in the Renault? As he crosses the line, DRS enabled, he puts it P10 with a 1:30.1. I think Bruno Will's about to come across the line. No, he isn't. It's his teammate of Conor who's on an outlap. There's a look now. I'm just trying to find the next person who's going to be across the line. I think it's going to be an AlphaTauri. Is it going to be XF8R? No, it isn't. It's going to be Instinct Will on an outlap. Then it's going to be a McLaren of ERN Gibby, who's also on an outlap, and BC Legends, who's also on an outlap. So it will be Bruno Will who comes across the line. DRS enabled, takes that bit of a curve, crosses the line, and goes quicker with a 28.7, and that's puts him on provisional pole. FXBR has ruined his final run. He's invalidated. Kenneth is on his final run also. Everybody else on their final run, but P2 has invalidated. The Williams of Toby Griffiths goes P8 with a 29.8. The next person across the line will be another Williams of Noam, going round the hairpin now in Sector 3. Let's see where he's able to put it. He's P7 at the scoring moment time, gets round the final corner, invalidates it on the last corner, and he was a little bit quicker, but not by much. That's going to keep him P7. Presto Evans is about to cross the line. He's currently P6, and he stays P6. Is now a Sauber, I think it was, of Marshall. No, it wasn't. It was someone else. Maybe Boots who crossed the line. Next will be a AlphaTauri of Instinct Will, who is currently at the back. Let's see where he's able to put it on his final run. He's about to cross the line now, DRS enabled. Where's he going to put it? He stays last with a 30.9. Who else is next? It's the McLaren of Gibby. He stays P12.
Kenneth is finishing now.
Kenneth in the Mercedes, coming P5 and he loses it! Big oversteer, coming out the final corner, and he loses it, and he puts it nearly into the barrier, and he stays on the track, and he stays P5. Big loss, and him and Gibby collide. Him and Gibby do collide due to the AI taking the mickey. Marshall is the last person to cross the line, and he's invalidated. So that wraps up Division 1 qualifying with a Haas 1-2 with Bruno Will and Connor R with FXBR behind him, BCC Legends in 4th, Kenneth in 5th, Presto in 6th, Noam 7th, Toby Griffiths 8th, Speedy, surprisingly enough, after crashing out in his first run, David, stays P9 with Marshall rounding out the top 10. David, do you mind just give me 2 seconds?
Yep, absolutely.
Yep. Okay, thank you. 1 second.
Alright, we are going to do a new lobby.
Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, we have to stop the stream for this current moment in time as issues have